Dear students, in the last lecture, we have discussed IUPAC rules for naming of coordination compounds or complexes. Let us see today the naming of complexes with some examples, and later on we are going to discuss Werner's coordination theory. So let us see first example. So here CONH3 4 SO4, that is written in square bracket, and NO3 is outside the square bracket. This is the coordination compound. How to give the name to this compound? Say in this coordination compound we have to use rule number 2, that is the rule for naming of cationic complex. How it is cationic complex? See here, inside this square bracket there is central metal ion cobalt. It is coordinated to neutral molecules ammonia. It is also coordinated to negative ligand sulfate. Okay, and outside the square bracket there is NO3. So cobalt carries +3 charge, ammonia is neutral, we know it, and on sulfate there is -2. So let us do the total of these charges. So +3, 0 and -2, it becomes +1 on this square bracket. As there is positive charge on this square bracket, it is cation. And this +1 charge is neutralized by -1 charge of this group, that is NO3. So let us start the naming of this complex of this cationic species according to the rules studied by us. First we have to write the name of negative ligand, and therefore sulfato. Then second type of ligand, neutral molecule. They are 4 in number, ammonia, therefore tetramine. Then name of central metal ion, cobalt. Its valency is 3, and later on we have to write the name of nitrate ion which is present outside the square bracket. So sulfato, tetramine, cobalt third, nitrate is the name of this complex. Example number 2. As there is charge on the square bracket, this is complex ion. Okay, it's very simple. Aluminium is the central metal ion, and to it 6 water molecules are attached. Water molecules are named as aquo when it is present in coordination compound. On aluminium there is +3 charge. Water molecules are also neutral ligand, and therefore on square bracket there is 3 plus charge, because total becomes +3 and +0. So here on square bracket there is 3 plus charge. So name of the complex ion is written as, there are 6 water molecules, therefore hexaquo, central metal ion aluminium, charge valency of aluminium is 3. As there is charge on square bracket, therefore it is called as ion. Hexaquo aluminium third ion. Next example, again same type, but this is anion, as here there is negative charge. How there is -1 charge? See, on silver there is +1 charge, but it is attached, it is coordinated to 2 cyanide ions. Therefore here there is -2, +1, -2, it becomes -1. Hence it is anion. How to write its name? 2 cyanide ions, therefore dicyano. Now silver, in Greek language it is called as argentate. 8 is added because it is part of the anion. So dicyano argentate. We have discussed there is 1 valency. So 1 in Roman numerals in a small bracket and it is iron. Dicyanoargentate 1 iron. This is the name of this complex ion. Then see next complex. Here see on this square bracket there is no charge. Therefore this is non-ionic complex. Then see cobalt metal ion is attached to neutral molecules ammonia as well as it is attached to this nitro, okay, which is negative ligand. So how it is non-ionic complex? On this cobalt is plus 3 charge, ammonia carries 0 charge, nitro 3 molecules, therefore minus 3. So plus 3 plus 0 minus 3, it becomes 0 and hence it is non-ionic complex. Start naming. There are 3 negative ligands, that is nitro. So trinitro. 3 neutral molecules, that is amine. Triamine. Cobalt is the center metal ion. So cobalt, its valency is 3 in small bracket. So trinitro, triamine, cobalt, third. Next one, here this is the rule number 1. Because positive ion ammonia is written first, okay, before the square bracket. So ammonia 2 molecules, therefore here there is 2 plus charge, okay, therefore there is 2 plus charge. In square bracket platinum is present and to it thiocyanate 6 molecules are attached to thiocyanate. Each thiocyanate carries minus 1, so there are 6, therefore it becomes minus 6. On platinum there is plus 4 charge, therefore plus 4 minus 6, it becomes plus 2. Minus 2. So minus 2 is neutralized by plus 2 charge of this ammonia. So its name is, first we have to write according to rule number 1, write the name of positive ion. So ammonium, okay, ammonium. There are 6 ligands, thiocyanate ions are attached to platinum. Therefore hexathiocyanato, there is only one type of ligand. Then platinum is the part of anion, therefore we have to attach 8 at the end of its name. Therefore platinate and its valency is 4. So rule number 1 is used here, ammonium hexathiocyanato platinate 4th. One more example from this rule. Again 2 sodium ions are present here inside the square bracket. Zinc is attached to 4 chloride ions. So this is anionic complex and here there is positive ion. How it is anionic complex? So each chloride ion carries minus 1 charge. As there are 4, therefore 4 into minus 1, it becomes minus 4. On zinc there is plus 2 charge, therefore plus 2 minus 4, on square bracket there is minus 2. This minus 2 charge is neutralized by these 2 sodium ions. Name of this complex ion. So first we have to write the name of positive ion. So sodium, the name of positive ion. 4 chloride ions are attached, therefore tetrachloro. Chloride is written as chloro. Tetrachloro. Zinc is again the part of anion, therefore it is called as zincate. 8 word is attached at the end of the name of the center metal ion. So valency is 2, which is written in small bracket. Sodium tetrachloro zincate second. Next complex. Again here, type number, rule number 2 we have to use. This is the cationic complex. Chromium is attached to 3 ethylene diamine molecules. Ethylene diamine molecules are neutral. On chromium there is plus 3 charge. So plus 3 charge is present on the square bracket, which is neutralized by these 3 chloride ions which are present outside the square bracket. Therefore, naming of complex. First we have to write the name of ligand. 3 times ethylene diamine are present, therefore tris ethylene diamine. Name of the central metal ion inside the square bracket. There is only one type of ligand is present, ethylene diamine. So after that, let us write the name of the central metal ion, chromium, in small bracket its valency third, and then write the name of the negative ion which is present outside the square bracket, chloride. So in this way, tris ethylene diamine, chromium third, chloride. This is the name of this complex. Then again rule number 1. Here these are the positive ions, potassium, 3 in number, therefore 3 plus charge. Inside the square bracket, aluminium is present, to which oxalate ions are attached, 3 are in number. So this is anionic complex. How it is anionic? Aluminium 3 plus charge. Here oxalate 3 into -2, therefore it becomes -6. Okay. So to do the total, plus 3 minus 6, on this square bracket there is -3. It is anionic complex, which is neutralized by plus 3 charge of this potassium. Agreed? And outside the square bracket there are the 3 water molecules are present. So start. Rule number 1. Name of positive ion, potassium. Then write the name of the ligands. 3 oxalate ions are attached, therefore trioxalato. Then aluminium, it is the part of anion, therefore aluminate. Its valency 3 is written in small bracket. And then 3 water molecules, trihydrate. So this is the name of this complex, potassium trioxalato aluminate third trihydrate. Next example, again this is non-ionic complex. Nickel, 0 charge, to which 4 carbonyl molecules are attached, 0 charge. Therefore, on square bracket, no charge, non-ionic complex. Start naming only one type of ligand, carbonyl, 4 in number, therefore tetracarbonyl. The name of central metal atom, nickel, its valency 0. So very simple. This is the name of this complex. One more. See the naming of this complex, K4 FeCN6. Rule number 1 we have to use here. So potassium 4 in number, therefore 4 plus. Inside square bracket Fe is attached to 6 cyanide ions, therefore -6 from ligand, Fe plus 2. Therefore the total becomes -4, which is written on square bracket, which is neutralized by plus 4 of this potassium. So here on square bracket there is -4. Name potassium, name of positive ion. 6 cyanide ions, hexacyano. Fe is the part of anion, therefore ferrate. 8 is added at the end. So ferrate, its valency 2. So in this way, potassium hexacyanoferrate. Then see next, write the formula of following complexes. Here name of the complex is given, and from this we have to write the formula of the complex. First, very simple, dimethyl glyoxymato nickel 2. That means dimethyl glyoxymato is the ligand. There are 2 in number, and nickel is the central metal ion. Its valency is 2. How to write the formula? So nickel, central metal ion, to which 2 molecules of DMG are attached. Okay. So nickel DMG2, this is the formula of this complex. Got it? Then see next example, potassium trioxalato aluminate third. That means we have to apply for this complex rule number 1. Because name of positive ion is written first. Then name of negative ligand is written, which is present inside the square bracket. Then name of central metal ion is written, and then name of valency is given. So start to write the formula. So potassium, why they are 3 in number? Because inside the square bracket aluminium, on aluminium there is plus 3 charge, and oxalate 3 in number into minus 2, therefore minus 6. So plus 3 minus 6, it becomes minus 3, which is neutralized by plus 3 from potassium, and therefore potassium are 3 in number, K3Al2O4 thrice. This is the formula for this complex. Then the next point, chloroacobis ethylene diamine rhodium third chloride. This is the name of the complex. So here we have to use rule number 2. Name of ligands are written first. Chloro means one chloride ion is present. Aco means water molecule is present. Bis ethylene diamine means two ethylene diamine molecules are present inside the square bracket. Rhodium is the central metal ion and its valency 3 is given. Okay. First let us calculate the charge. How? See, chloro, one chloride ion is present. It is a water molecule. H2O, one molecule is present. Ethylene diamine bis, that means two molecules are present and they are attached to rhodium. Calculate charge. Rhodium 3 is given, therefore plus 3. Ethylene diamine neutral, water molecule is neutral, and on chloride there is minus 1. Therefore do the total minus 1 plus 0 plus 0 plus 3, it becomes plus 2, which are neutralized by these two chloride ions which are present outside the square bracket. So that means we have to write two chloride ions outside the square bracket. So this is the formula for this complex ion. Next one, ammonium tetrathiocyanato diamine chromate third. This indicates that again rule number 1 is we have to use, because positive ion is written first, then name of ligands are written. There are two types of ligand, negative ligand and neutral ligand. Central metal ion is chromium, but it is the part of anion. Its valency is given 3. So first we write the atoms or ions inside the square bracket. So chromium, central metal ion, diamine, so two ammonia molecules, and 4 thiocyanate ions are attached to chrome. So calculate this charge. So on chromium 3 valency is given in the name. So plus 3 plus 0 and minus 4 from this thiocyanate, and therefore there is minus 1 charge on this square bracket, which is neutralized by only one ammonium ion which is present here before the square bracket. So plus 1 and minus 1. In this way it is neutralized. In this way, this is the formula for this complex. Then see, this is the name of the bridge complex. Tetramines, 4 ammonium molecules are present. Mu, before dichloro, mu is written, that means chloride ions are acts as bridging atom, bridging ligand. Diplatinum, that means 2 platinum metal ions are present. 2 is the valency of each platinum, and chloride, which is written outside the square bracket. So tetramine, in this way, NH3 2. So here also NH3 2. That means 2 ammonia molecules are attached to platinum. Then mu dichloro. That means this is the first chloride ion. This is second chloride ion. Both chloride ions acts as bridging atom. Got it? Then diplatinum. So here central metal ion is platinum. Diplatinum. 2 platinum ions are present. Their valency is 2 and Outside the square bracket, we have written 2 chloride ions because here on the square bracket there is plus 2 charge which is neutralized by these 2 chloride ions. How the charge on the square bracket is plus 2? See here 2 chloride ions minus 2. From ammonia 0. On platinum there is plus 4 charge. So plus 4 minus 2 plus 0, it becomes plus 2 on the square bracket, which is neutralized by only and only 2 chloride ions. In this way, this is the formula of this complex. So this is about the naming of coordination compounds. Now let us start the very important theory, coordination theory, which is put forth by the well-known scientist Werner. And for this work in inorganic chemistry, in coordination theory, he was awarded by a Nobel Prize. He prepared first these three compounds. He prepared these three compounds COCl3, 6NH3, K4FeCN6 and PtCl4, 6NH3. So on the basis of study of these three compounds, Werner put forth the postulates of Werner's theory. So very important point, postulates of Werner's theory. What are that? Let us see. First postulate. Most of the metals show two types of valency. Which are that two valencies? First one, primary, or it is called as ionizable valency. Second one, secondary, or it is called as non-ionizable valency, or it is also called as auxiliary valency. Postulate number 2. Each element, every element satisfies both of its primary and secondary valency. How? The primary valencies of the element, these are satisfied by negative anions. Okay, negative ions or anions. And these negative ions, anions, they are attached loosely to this central metal ion, and attachment to the metal ion of this negative ion is shown by dotted lines. Next point, secondary valencies are satisfied by negative ions or groups or neutral molecules like water, ammonia, and sometimes by positive ion. And the attachment to the metal ion of these groups is shown by thick lines. This is very important because secondary valencies are tightly held to the element, while primary valencies are loosely held to the central metal ion. Therefore, primary valencies are shown by dotted lines and secondary valencies are shown by thick lines. Postulate number 3. Every element, each element has a fixed number of secondary valencies, and these number are called as coordination number. Okay? Each element has a fixed number of secondary valencies. Next one, the coordinated groups are tightly held to the central atom while the other atoms are not firmly held. This is very important postulate. The secondary valencies are coordinated groups, okay, and they are directly attached to central atom or ion, and hence they are tightly held to the central atom. While the primary valencies, they are not tightly held, or we can say they are loosely held to the central metal ion. So see here as an example, K4FeCN6. In this case, these 6 cyanide ions are attached to Fe, central metal ion. These cyanide ions are called as secondary valencies and they are firmly held to iron. Okay, here 6 secondary valencies are attached to iron and therefore coordination number of Fe is 6. Then see last postulate, postulate number 5. The secondary valencies are directed in definite direction in a space about the central atom or ion, and primary valencies are not directional. The stereochemistry of a complex is determined by the arrangement of ligands, that means secondary valency in a space. In short, if coordination number is 4, that means 4 secondary valencies are directed at the 4 corners of tetrahedron or square planar. In this way, the stereochemistry of complex is determined by secondary valency because they are directed in a definite direction. If a coordination number is 6, naturally the ligands are directed, the secondary valencies are directed at the 6 corners of octahedron. So friends, for today's lecture, this is sufficient. In next lecture, we continue the study of coordination compounds. Thank you.